this is interesting. This is interesting. Best young talent. Um, because look, before I even give my view on it, I think when you're just looking at the best young talents right now, for me, these are the main two. Because this is what I've always said is like we are living in a great era in terms of emerging talents. I don't know what happened to the current guys. So those guys, 25 to 30, I don't know what happened to these dudes because I don't rate any of these dudes. Okay, Salah, yeah, and everything, but most of the 25 to 30 guys I don't rate. But when you look at the guys 17 to 22, 23, they're amongst the best players in the world. So Bellingham, Yamal, Kubarsi, Musiala, Verts. How old is Konate? Actually, I mean, Konate may be a bit older. But how old is Konate? Because, um, actually, I think Konate might be a bit older. I think Konate might be a bit older. I think he might be a bit old. He's 25. Okay, Konate is 25. So he's a bit. Okay, so Konate is one of the few of the 25 to 30 who's a genuine quality talent. But most of those guys in that young age group, they're amongst the best. And I think the guys at the head of that group is Bellingham and Yamal. Although, guys, for people who watch Barcelona, guys, Kubarsi, for a 17-year-old to be that good at defending, because remember, the defending is all in the mind, and defending is really down to your intelligence. So whether you look at a Desai, Turame, Maldini, and Nesta, I believe that the defenders are amongst the most intelligent players with the highest IQ in a football team. So for Kubasi at 17 to be this good, playing a very difficult offside trap, that guy's is quality. But I think the guys at the head of it are Bellingham and Yamal. So you say to yourself that, who deserves to be called best young talent? It's a difficult one because, okay, so you look at Yamal now. You look at Bellingham. Goal scoring. He's evolving his passing. He can facilitate and he can play multiple positions. So I think that there may be different things that one guy does better. So I think what Bellingham's greater talent that he has over Yamal is his ability to play multiple positions. You can play him as a false nine, you can play him as a number 10, you can play him as a deep lying central midfielder, and I think he can actually do a job on the wing. Yamal, I don't believe, can play multiple positions as well as Bellingham. But look at what Yamal has that Bellingham doesn't have. I think Yamal's dribbling and his creativity and his creative passing is outstanding. Bellingham can do something, but Yamal's creativity and his ability to find players and that ridiculous traveler pass is freaking insanity. So that's something that he does that I don't think he does as well. I think Yamal is a better dribbler. So interesting is who is the best talent. It's a tough one because this is what I've always said. For me, Yamal, if aliens came down to the earth and they said, "Have hope, who is the best football player in the world right now?" And this is just me, how I view football, how I interpret football, say who is the best footballer in the world right now, I would say it's Lamine Yamal. They would say, excuse me? A prepubescent? What? Who? Yes, a child. A child of Zion. A 17-year-old is the best football player in the world right now. That's how I believe. But the thing with Bellingham is this, and this is what I will say. And it's actually interesting thinking about this. Ceilings. I think Yamal's ceiling is one of the greatest players of all time. I think Bellingham's ceiling is a generational player. So those are the different things there. But I think Bellingham's ceiling, in my view, is a more complete player. Let me give you a good example. I feel that, okay, let's take Zidane and Dino. I think Zidane is a more complete player in terms of what Zidane could do and how he could control the game. I feel Zidane was a more complete player. But if Dino truly achieved what he did fully in a more consistent basis, he might have been the greatest player we've ever seen ever in the world. Even though I feel Zidane is more complete. So I think that if Bellingham's ceiling, not every player reaches their ceiling, but I think Bellingham's ceiling is I can get you goals, I can get you assists, I can play multiple positions, I can defend as well, and my influence on a game, defensively, midfield, and attacker-wise, is profound. So if Bellingham reaches his ceiling, this is a guy that can do multiple things very well and play multiple positions very well. So you're looking at one of the greatest all-round players ever. Because people forget his work rate and how good he is at also hustling, winning the ball back and defending and passing the whole ball back. So, because there's some guys that have the work rate, but they don't have the tesh. Some guys have the tesh, they don't have the work rate. Bellingham's unicorn nature is that he has the work rate and the tesh. And tell nobody, he's getting better. The player I'm seeing right now in his recent games is better than the guy who had one of the craziest debut seasons ever. So his ceiling, I think, could be super complete. But you see, the thing with Yamal, it's like when I remember when me and my brother first saw Messi, and I think it was literally in this house upstairs, and me and my brother, my brother was like, "Can you really be an amazing player?" And you called Messi because it was such an unusual name. You know, it wasn't like a Maradona, Ronaldo. But me and my brother, we just knew when we first saw Messi that, oh yeah, that's the guy. We just know, because when you watch football enough, you just know when that's the guy. We say, no, this is the guy. Whether he likes his talent or not, but we just knew that this is the guy to define this generation. This is a potential all-time guy. We just knew, when you've seen the guy. I just know, like when we saw Neymar, like we knew that was the guy. And the way I viewed Messi, the way I viewed Nazario, the way I viewed Maradona, the way I viewed Neymar, and even Dino is the same way I view Yamal. There's only Yamal where, no, this is the guy. Like Bellingham, Musiala, you are quality, amazing players. But there's specific people who, this is the guy. Like this is the guy to define this generation, and this is the guy who is now trying to chase that kind of all-time status. So that's something like very, very different. So for me, who is the better talent? I mean, if I had to choose, I might give it to Bellingham, even though I feel that Yamal might be a much more of an all-timer. Because when you say talent, I'm looking at how well do you do different skills. As in, so you could be an amazing dribbler, superb dribbler. Are you therefore a greater talent than a guy who is a very good dribbler, very good finisher, a very good passer of the ball, and is adept at multiple positions? If you are adept at multiple positions, you can create. You've got a good eye for a goal. That's a higher talent. Because my talent is I can play multiple positions. I can score goals. I can create as well. That's a high talent. Hence why Bellingham's ceiling is high. But there's just something about this Yamal kid, bro. Again, I see, guys, only when you know football, you just know when it's hard to even put into words. It's just a thing that, like, us football heads, we just know when a guy's the guy. And if Yamal does what he does, this is the potential guy that could be an all-time guy. But maybe in 3 years' time, Bellingham will maybe like, hey, forget Yamal, I'm that guy. Because the thing about, even though I feel like Yamal is the guy and he is the best player in the world right now, and I feel he's the face of football, Bellingham is getting better. And if he keeps on this trajectory, keep on getting better year by year by year, who knows what the heck this guy could turn into in 3 or 4 years' time. Like the vid, guys, subscribe, and join us for our Saturday hangout where we should discuss this topic and more. One love.